Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another video on Total War Warhammer. Today we're going to be talking about sieges and siege AI. If my voice still sounds a bit weird, I am still sick, and yeah, I'll try and persevere though, because I was very excited to wake up this morning and have a blog post to read. So we don't really know much about sieges or siege AI, and today they've revealed a lot more about what we can expect, along with some rather lovely images which will be in this video as well. So, siege battles have always been a mainstay of Total War for many years. This is going from their blog, by the way, which I would agree with. And as some of those mainstays in Total Warhammer, they've made the decision to do them a little bit differently this time around. So they've tried to they're going to try and focus the gameplay in a way that makes sieges tenser and more thrilling from start to finish. So in their previous couple of games, I'm presuming they're referring to Rome 2 and Total War Attila, sieges often began with a lengthy bombardment phase where the attacker would spend time smashing down the walls of catapults and such like to create more entrances to the city for his infantry and cavalry to enter. This was followed by intricate street battles within the walls before a victor was decided. The cities were often sprawling with multiple capture points leading to some milling around and over lengthy redeployments. So they've changed this in several ways for Total War Warhammer. Their overriding aim is to make sieges more epic, rarer and special, creating higher intensity conflicts for us to enjoy, and they've done a number of things to do this. So, siege battles are going to be very much about a fight for the walls. So sieges are going to be fought along one or two walls of a city, which directs the majority of the attacking and defending forces into a more coherent clash. So they've also mentioned it may sound like they're reducing our options, so we can't attack a city from any direction now. But the result is a more cohesive as a battle experience, and they're every bit as epic as anything they've made before. So I still have a few reservations about that. While I do definitely like how they're trying to make it, I guess, more epic and sieges a bit rarer, I kind of like the freedom of being able to siege a city exactly how I wanted to. Now, we're not going to actually see, well, we're not actually going to know the entire limitations of the new sieges until we actually see one in battle, but from the images you can actually see that the walls definitely are larger, and you can definitely position units on there to go around and flank and things like that. So that is quite appealing to actually have the walls as the mainstay of a siege, because especially if you're playing against a human opponent in, I guess, even Attila or Rome 2, you'd probably just abandon the walls pretty early on and just fight via the streets. So yeah. So once the fight reaches the walls, you'll find wall sections have a much broader footprint than before. That means more room to maneuver, flank, and generally create similar offensive and defensive opportunities to those you have on the ground, with multiple units engaged at once. So siege towers and battering rams can still be built over turns of sieging on the campaign map, and siege towers really are the optimal way to crest the walls for foot soldiers. They don't really mention much about artillery, but hopefully, you can still knock down a wall or two, and then they won't be impenetrable. Or sorry, you won't be able to destroy them. Because I still would like the flexibility to create a couple of breaches and go storming into the city. I just like flexibility when it comes to sieges. They do also make a point of saying that ladders, you can still use them. However, it's quite a dangerous tactic and should only be considered if you need to engage the city quickly. Because ladders do not offer protection that a siege tower can provide, which is, true. So, certain varieties of monsters, such as club-wielding giants, are perfectly capable of smashing their way through the city gates. So in those occasions, if you have those kind of giant units or monstrous units, you don't need to worry about taking a battering ram with you, although I imagine it'll still be quite helpful to take one, just in case your troll dies, or the giant dies. Okay, so, to reflect the epic cities of the Warhammer Fantasy Battles world, they've been working on much tighter, more readable map designs involving broader streets and town squares to plan and execute our manoeuvres in. So that also provides clear readability for the AI, and you'll find it putting heavy pressure on your city's victory point. So there we go. So they're kind of modifying sieges in a way to try and assist the AI, because I definitely they could be, the AI was definitely a bit derpy when it comes to sieges, and you know, I guess to a whole, you know, in general, Total War AI can be a bit derpy. So at least they're trying to modify that and modify the sieges to kind of give the AI a better chance. And each race has their own unique style of architecture, so you'll fight for a range of vastly different looking cities. That is a very big selling point. We know that the units are incredibly different to each other, and just from where we saw the Battle of Blackfire Pass, was it Battle of Blackfire Pass? I'm not sure it was. No, it wasn't the Battle of Blackfire Pass. It was the ambush at the Thundering Falls. We got to see what a dwarven underground battle would look like. So the different architecture and just the different feels of each race really will work really well in the sieges, I think. So they've made a point of also mentioning the AI, so while attacking, the AI will now execute multi-pronged attack strategies. It will use all of the tools at its disposal simultaneously to challenge your defences, sending its siege towers to various points on the wall, attacking the gates at the same time, and deploying ladders when and where appropriate. So in short, it's designed to give you a number of flashpoints to contend with. To me, that paragraph is saying the AI is going to work how it should do. Really. This is making me sound quite critical in this video. This is probably the most critical I've been in a video in quite a long time. But no, I was generally excited by the blog post, and apparently they've also increased the AI's range of tactical capabilities with some new features. The first is a greater level of granularity in use of its reserves. The AI makes its calculations as to the best approach in a given situation, and if it feels it doesn't need to throw everything in to achieve its aims, it will deliberately hold units back in reserve until they're needed. If it sees that one of its attacks is struggling and its appropriate resources available to assist, it will bolster the forces involved by sending in the reserves. Additionally, if you're charging into a siege and an AI-controlled ally is reinforcing you, it won't simply stride into the fray with its own battle plan. It will take into consideration the differences you're making to the battlefield. If you open breaches, it will aim to exploit those rather than doubling up on work and making its own. It will take a look at its reserves pool and send troops in to exploit the breach. This leads to a greater sense of support and collaboration from your AI ally. And when an AI is defending a city, it's all about the walls. All ranged towers in a city are now situated on the walls and will only fire outwards. They're an important factor for dealing damage to an advancing attacker. These towers are activated by manning the appropriate wall sections with the troops. The defending AI will try to anticipate where your attack is coming from and will have troops on the walls ready to greet you, thereby activating the nearby towers and raining fire down at you on your way in. Again, this sounds like the AI should just be working how it should. And if it does work like that, then good. And I really hope that CA delivers on that, because I really do want sieges of an epic scale. And I would just, it would just make me very excited. Very, very excited. So, they also finish up by saying if you overwhelm its forces on the walls and break past its defenses, the AI will try and fall back into the city in order to protect the sole central victory point, usually situated in a large town square. As towers only face outwards, attackers who capture them won't be able to fire into the city. Instead, capturing the towers simply stops them from firing at any other advancing attackers. Provided the AI has the troops to do so, it will withdraw into the city, mount a stout defence and fight to the bitter end. So, a lot of positives to take from this. They're clearly trying to make sieges a bit more refined, a bit more epic, and a bit more structured in a way. So I'm really looking forward to sieges in Total War Warhammer. I just can't wait to actually start playing it, or just seeing more. So the Ides of March, I'm looking forward to that live stream tomorrow. If you've got any thoughts on this information, please do let me know in the comments below. If you've enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and all that jazz. And yeah, until next time everyone, I bid you a very, very good day.